In 12th century England, two children appeared on the edge of a village, a boy and a girl, frightened, confused, and green. Their skin was tinted olive. Their clothes were made of metal, and they spoke no known language. They refused all food except for raw beans. Locals tried to care for them. The boy died soon after. The girl survived. And when she learned English, she told them where she came from. It wasn't from anywhere on Earth. This story is written in historical records. It was never explained. And centuries later, it still asks the same question. What happens when something or someone slips through? If you believe the strangest stories are the ones no one can explain, stay with us. The village was called Woolpit, a small agricultural community in Suffolk, England, surrounded by fields, quiet and isolation. In the middle of the 1100s, nothing much changed there until something did. One summer afternoon, workers harvesting crops near a wolf pit saw a movement along the edge. What they found stopped them cold. Two children, standing alone, a girl and a boy. Their skin was green, not pale, not olive green. Their hair was disheveled, their eyes wide, and their clothes were unlike anything the villagers had seen. Metallic, oddly cut, stitched with unfamiliar threads. The children didn't speak English or any known language. When the villagers tried to feed them, they refused all food. Only when given raw broad beans did they finally eat ravenously. They were taken in, sheltered, observed. But no one could explain where they had come from. No one had seen them before, and no one saw how they got there. Some villagers thought they had been cursed. Others believed they were elves or fae or even the devil's children. Rumors spread quickly in a time when the unknown was often feared, and strangeness equaled danger. Yet no one harmed them. Curiosity outweighed superstition. And something about the children, their fear, their confusion, made it clear they were lost. The case wasn't just whispered folklore. It was recorded. Two chroniclers of the time, Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh, independently documented the story. Their accounts differ slightly, but the core remains the same. Two green-skinned children, sudden appearance, strange behavior, one surviving. Ralph, the abbot of a nearby monastery, wrote that the girl eventually adapted. The boy, however, grew sick. He became listless, and he died. Neither chronicler suggested magic. Neither called it a miracle. Their tone was restrained, descriptive, not fantastical, which makes it harder to dismiss. The church didn't investigate. The crown didn't inquire. The children were left in the care of locals, and the story faded into private memory, only to survive in parchment. And the girl? She lived. She wasn't just a myth. She became part of the community. Her presence was known, her name eventually recorded, but her origin never resolved. As time passed, the girl learned to speak English. Her skin lost its green hue. She adapted, ate local food, lived among the villagers. And then she spoke. She told them she came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a place in constant twilight, where everything was green, the trees, the sky, even the people. She said she and her brother had been herding animals when they heard a sound, like church bells. They followed it, and then everything went dark. They awoke here in Woolpit. When asked where St. Martin's Land was, she pointed downward. She didn't mean the next village. Was a metaphor, a hallucination, or a literal journey from one realm to another? No one knows, and she never changed her story. Some say it was arsenic poisoning, a chemical that can tint skin and cause confusion, but it doesn't explain the language or the metal clothes. Others claim they were Flemish children fleeing conflict. Their green color result of malnutrition, but their language, untraceable. Their arrival, silent. Then there are the stories that look elsewhere, alternate realities, subterranean worlds, realms of overlapping dimensions. Many cultures have tales of those who emerge from below or beyond. Celtic myths speak of the city, a race of beings who live underground in parallel existence. In Buddhism, there are descriptions of hidden kingdoms that vibrate at a different frequency. Even modern physics leaves room for dimensions we can't detect. Quantum theory allows for parallel worlds, Universes that coexist, separated by layers we don't yet understand. Some physicists speculate that under extreme circumstances, it might be possible to cross between them, not intentionally, but through accident, or failure, or a thin spot in reality itself. So perhaps they weren't running from war. Perhaps they fell through something. The girl grew into a woman. She was baptized, took a new name, and eventually married. After that, she vanished from history. But the story never did. Woolpit still exists. The pits are still there. And so is a legend. Tourists come, ask questions, leave confused. The villagers don't embellish. They just nod, as if they know something no one else does. Why do we still tell this story? Why has it never been officially debunked? Because something in it rings true. Not in the facts, but in the fracture. It's not just a mystery. It's a reminder that even in the middle of a quiet village, something can slip through, and no one will ever be able to say why. There are stories that belong to history, and there are stories that belong to the edges of it, the ones that make no sense, the ones that shouldn't exist. And yet they do. Not every story ends. Some just pause, waiting for it to happen again.